This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 5. Coverage you can count on.
On Eyewitness News at 5, the man accused of a deadly downtown Halloween shooting in 2024 is back in an Orlando courtroom. Why he's asking the judge for a new attorney. Plus, could property taxes be eliminated in Florida?
We can lower people's housing costs just by reducing their property taxes.
Only Channel 9 sits down with CFO Blazin Golia on how it can be done.
And a protester shot and killed by an ICE agent after investigators say she tried to run over an agent with her car.
This woman was in her car, and it appears then blocking the street.
And breaking at 5, we begin with this big story out of Minneapolis. That was, again, one of the versions, the message of the Minneapolis mayor had to say to federal immigration agents today, telling ICE to get the expletive out of their town. Good evening. I'm Greg Warmick.
And I'm Martha Sigalski. Channel 9 obtained video of the shooting. We do want to warn you, some may find this disturbing. We've actually frozen the video just before the woman was shot. The sound will continue. We think it's very important that we show this to you so that you can get the full context of the shooting.
Again, you heard at least 2 shots fired there. The Department of Homeland Security says the ICE agent shot and killed a 37-year-old woman. They say it was in self-defense, alleging that she backed up and then went forward, as you saw in the video, trying to run over one of the officers with her SUV.
As Rena Roy reports, the mayor says that's not true.
Associated Press also reporting, as we said at 4, that one family member of the deceased watched it all play out. Our team coverage on this breaking news story continuing now with Channel 9's Nick Pampantonis downtown. He joins us live outside of Orlando City Hall. Nick, we heard there was going to be a protest, should start in about 20 minutes. Any sign of that?
Not right now, Greg. This is the flyer I want to show you that is circulating social media right now, calling on the protest is going to be calling to abolish ICE. It's being held by many of the groups that we've seen the big protests from since Trump began his second term. The 50-51 movement primarily behind them, along with other activist groups. Sorry if that phone screen shut off there. The call is going out. It's called an emergency protest. They're calling this shooting, obviously they're against what happened here in this shooting here. We have not seen anybody out here yet for this. However, again, as you pointed out, it has not technically started yet. The call going out.
All right, Nick, thanks. We will continue, of course, to check back in with Nick and keep watching what's unfolding in Minneapolis and bring you any live updates just as soon as we learn more. Greg?
Also, some breaking news here locally out of Marion County. Within just this last 30 minutes, we have learned Ocala police investigating a possible murder near Southeast 3rd Street and 11th Avenue. Police say they have one person of interest now in custody. Roads in this area are temporarily blocked. Osceola Middle School was under a brief lockdown, but we're told there was no immediate danger to the community or the kids. We have a crew headed to this area as well. We will update you with a live report as we learn more. Again, this has been a very busy news day. Also new at 5, Florida lawmakers will soon convene in Tallahassee to tackle one of the biggest issues in the state, a potential reduction in property taxes.
The problem, we're still a long way from narrowing down actually how to do it. 9 Investigate Shannon Butler joining us live here in the studio. And Shannon, only you spoke to Florida's chief financial officer today, who says it can be done. But the question is, Shannon, will it?
Well, that would be up to the voters, but getting something to them may be easier said than done. Not only can lawmakers not decide on how to either reduce or eliminate property taxes, they can't even decide how many options voters should have to choose from. Now, as you know, he's been traveling the state looking at all the local government's budgets. We still do not have a breakdown about what our local counties are accused of wasting, but we will likely see something before that session is over. Greg.
All right, that will be interesting to watch that play out. Good job with that one-on-one interview. Thank you, Shannon. Well, a bicyclist recovering after being hit and dragged by a box truck that just kept on going. Troopers say just after 8 p.m. Tuesday, Jose Batista Grullon was driving a Ryder box truck when he struck the bicyclist at the intersection of South Orange Blossom Trail and Woodsmere Avenue in Orlando. A witness followed Grullon onto I-4. Deputies then caught up with the suspect and he was arrested. Channel 9 obtained a new document laying out the future for Orange County schools that could be consolidated due to low enrollment. We've been covering this big story on closures for the last month for you. The new document that we got our hands on details the plans for fiscal year 2027 and 28. Eccleston Elementary could become a pediatric health center. McCoy Elementary could become student enrollment offices. Acceleration East could become an office for school choice affairs. And there are a total of 9 schools that are on this chopping block. We posted the full list of plans for all of those 9 campuses on WFTV.com.
Developing right now at 5, a man accused of trying to kidnap a teenager in Eustis remains locked up in jail after getting a bond this morning. Police say he grabbed that girl after offering to pay her to get in his car. Channel 9's Carl Willis live working this one in Lake County. And Carl, the police chief, wants to know if anyone else has been approached by this guy.
Oh, that's right, Martha. The chief says this suspect, who, as you mentioned, remains in Lake County jail at this hour, has no other known incidents involving this kind of crime in the past, but he wants to know if anyone else has had a similar encounter with him in the past. Now, police say that Lockwood may have also tried to sneak away when they went to arrest him. They say an officer knocked on the front door. He went out the back, but another officer was there waiting to make that arrest. Reporting live at Lake County Jail, Carl Willis, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Carl, thank you. 5 miles of coastline being restored right now in Volusia County with fresh sand. Coming up, why some residents say that this isn't going to work and it's just a waste of money, plus the county's response to those accusations. Tom?
Right now, we are watching for more dense fog. In fact, dense fog advisory already out for later tonight, Marion, Flagler, and points north. But I think the fog's going to be a bit more widespread than this. I'm updating that just ahead.
Coming up, fake $50 bills, a smoothie shop scam, and it was all caught on video. How they're pulling it off, coming up.
Here in Central Florida, it's important to know what type of weather is on the way. From hitting the beach, the theme parks, and other outdoor activities, or planning your commute and errands, an accurate forecast helps you plan your day. And after tracking Central Florida weather for nearly 30 years, it's that unique experience that helps me give you an accurate and detailed forecast. I'm here to prepare you on what to expect every hour, every day, everywhere.
Chief Meteorologist Tom Terry on Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
We continue to follow that breaking news out of Minneapolis, a tense situation that has been unfolding for hours now. This is a live picture. Civil unrest on the streets right now following an ICE-involved shooting that left a woman dead. Officials saying a protester used her car as a weapon against law enforcement. She was shot and killed. There is video of that. We showed you that at the top of this newscast. Of course, we're going to monitor the situation. We will bring you updates throughout our newscast. We've also heard of a possible protest in downtown Orlando. We will take you there if it happens, coming up on Eyewitness News at 5:30, Greg.
Fake $50 bills are popping up at small businesses across Lake Marion, Seminole County, and in at least one case, the suspects didn't even bother to pick up what they paid for. They just walked out with real cash. Channel 9's Q McCrae has the story from Lake Mary, where surveillance video is giving police some key clues in this growing counterfeit scam. I mean, that is a shame. And people just trying to make a buck, having a small business, and then they get this fake money.
Not good.
Not cool.
Well, we're all the real stuff right here. It's
That's
good to see everybody
nice
again.
Nice to see the gang's back together.
Yeah, the holidays kind of were all scattered doing different things, but we've got pretty much the same weather that I left before we went to go see my dad for his 80th birthday in Texas is what we have now. It doesn't feel like winter here, does it?
That beautiful shot.
Beautiful shot. And notably, the sun a little bit higher in the sky. We're gaining a little over a minute of daylight each day now, and we will continue to see longer days as we get farther and farther away from the winter solstice back on the 21st December. 60s on our dew points right now. This is a measurement of how much moisture is in the air. And this time of the year, when dew points are in the 60s, that's pretty high. This would be a great day in the summer, But in the winter, as temperatures drop to the 50s, that dew point's going to become an issue for fog. So I already have dense fog advisory tonight, Flagler, Marion County, and points north. And we'll also see fog spread elsewhere through the area during the overnight hours. So the fog will return tonight. Tomorrow, temperatures, and really for the rest of the work week, including the weekend, mainly Saturday, much warmer than average, and a cold front finally gets here on Sunday evening. And here's a look at early warning future track, and you can see this deck of low gray clouds and the little speckles that come through there. That's going to be some drizzle with the low clouds and fog. So that's what we're going to start with during the day tomorrow, but have a beautiful afternoon. Altamont Springs right around 80 to 81 degrees, and the same for Palm Bay, very close to 80 tomorrow. We should be about 72. We're going to get back to that, but it's going to take another couple of days. Here's Sanford, 81, 83 Saturday. Sunday's our transition day, and then you can see Monday we're back down to more of a winter type pattern as another front moves in and brings us at least a slight chance for some rain. We'll talk about that when I see you again. 7-day forecast, weekend always in view. The 80s are here for now. Then we get back to more of a Florida style winter. Nothing too drastic, but certainly big changes, which we will see more of with early warning future track. Greg, when I see you at 5:45.
All right, good looking forecast. Thanks, Tom. A woman almost fired her gun after two men showed up armed outside her front door. Still ahead, Action 9 explains why she was not able to break her lease and get out of the apartment even after several of these scary incidents at what she calls a dangerous apartment complex.
Plus, 9 investigates went to a meeting to get answers about a community development district that spent $900,000 of the community's money in 20 days with no receipts. New at 6 why the meeting was abruptly canceled without notice, and the tough questions we're asking anyway. And the White House orders a $10 billion freeze in funds for child care assistance. Next, what was discussed on Capitol Hill after accusations of fraud and abuse in another state.
Sky Witness 9 on Channel 9 Eyewitness News, bringing you closer to the scene during live breaking news. Sponsored by attorney Dan Newland.
Next, Jeopardy! Champions Wildcard.
Now I can say, I got to take a picture with Ken Jennings one time.
He knows the perks of the game, but will this one be to his benefit?
What's the wager here?
Brought to you by Orlando Health.
The Rolex 24 is back January the 24th. Enter at WFTV.com/contests for your chance to win tickets to Daytona, or grab your own tickets at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
There was more big news coming out of Minnesota today beyond the ICE officer shooting. The House Oversight Committee held a hearing over the alleged fraud there and misuse of federal funds.
It comes as the White House froze $10 billion in federal child care funds to 5 states run by Democrats. Reporter Rena Roy explains what this means for American families.
A baby dolphin stranded on the shores of New Smyrna Beach is now being cared for by SeaWorld. Coming up, what we're being told about the rehab of that little dolphin happening right now at SeaWorld Orlando.
Plus, NASA could avoid a multi-billion-dollar budget cut just to have the new proposal that would help save certain projects for the agency.
5.5 miles of coastline being restored in New Smyrna Beach right now. But people who live here say this project isn't going to work. We'll tell you what the county's response is coming up.
This Tower Cam Shot, sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 5:30. Coverage you can count on.
On Eyewitness News right now at 5:30, we're staying on top of breaking news after a deadly shooting where an ICE agent shot a woman. It's raised questions about self-defense and the use of force, especially when it comes to the nationwide ICE crackdown. Good evening. I'm Martha Sigalski.
And I'm Greg Wormuth, getting you the latest now. We're now hearing some dueling claims on what happened in the video. The Trump administration says it was self-defense and the woman was trying to run ICE agents over in her burgundy Honda SUV, backing up there and then pulling forward. Minneapolis's mayor says that is not the case. Minnesota's governor has put the National Guard now on standby, saying he will deploy them to protect people if necessary.
Channel 9's Nick Pampatonis is joining us live outside of Orlando City Hall, where, Nick, some folks are beginning to show up for what you are calling a cry for a protest. You got that information?
Yeah, this Yep, this is the beginnings of the protest behind me. It's very small. There's about 10 people here right now. But in my experience with protests here in downtown Orlando, when they say it's going to start at 5:30, that is when people start showing up. So you see them holding their signs right now. We actually, James, we want to pan off to the left here. We just had Orlando police show up as well to watch them here. Sorry, we're navigating some bags on the ground. They literally just rolled in as you guys were tossing to me there. So what we're expecting, this is a 50-51 group. That is the group that is behind a lot of the protests that we've seen since President Trump took office his second term last year. They're the ones that have organized some of the No King stuff. It's a consortium of different activist groups here in the Orlando area. They were talking to me earlier. They don't know how many people they're expecting tonight. They put out the call about 90 minutes ago. And so they're just seeing who shows up at this point. But obviously, they're here to call for the abolishment of ICE in the wake of this shooting. We're going to have analysis from a law enforcement ex-deputy coming up at 6 o'clock. For now, live in downtown Orlando, Nick Papantonis, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
We're asking Volusia County leaders if sand being pumped on a New Smyrna beach right now will actually stay in place.
Probably won't. Channel 9 Volusia County reporter Demi Johnson explains after sand washed away from a similar project this fall, neighbors are reluctant to support this expensive work again. All right, Demi, thank you. Covering our Space Coast, Congress proposing $24.4 billion for NASA this fiscal year. That's nearly $6 billion more than President Trump proposed. Channel 9's Melanie Holt joins us live at the Kennedy Space Center tonight. Mel, this new proposal could save a lot of science missions, right?
That's because it earmarks about $7.25 billion for science missions. That's just a slight drop over what it's funded right now under the current budget. Now, both the budget proposals from Congress and the president show strong support for the Artemis program. Artemis 2, a crewed lunar flyby around the moon, should launch as early as February. We're told no later than April, right here from the Kennedy Space Center. We're live here in Brevard County. Melanie Holt, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Mel, thank you. United Launch Alliance is getting ready to send another rocket into space. The target is February 2nd for the launch of their Vulcan rocket from the Space Coast. It will deliver a national security spacecraft directly to orbit for the U.S. Space Force. This will be the rocket's second national security space launch. And happening tomorrow, SpaceX has plans to launch a Falcon 9 rocket from the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, looking to send 29 Starlink satellites in a low Earth orbit. The launch window opens tomorrow at 1:29 in the afternoon.
Brevard County School had to shelter in place briefly today while police investigated a bomb threat. O'Galley High School on Commodore Boulevard in Melbourne was forced to shelter in place after a threatening email was sent to the school district headquarters. Melbourne police found nothing concerning during their investigation, and then they lifted that shelter in place.
Well, this dolphin calf is recovering after washing up on New Smyrna Beach this morning. We broke this story on Eyewitness News this morning. Channel 9's Sam Martello has more now from SeaWorld, where that calf is rehabbing.
All right, we'll hope that dolphin is okay. Thank you. An alleged thief was taken down by police while trying to get away. And here's a look.
Stop, you're going to get tackled. Do nothing. Why? Oh, my God.
Port Orange police say Clarence Colmar shoplifted from several stores in a New Smyrna Beach shopping plaza on a bike. Colmar tried to get away on his bicycle, but as you can see, he was tackled to the ground. Police say that they did find several stolen items on him and drugs in his bag. He was taken to the Volusia County Jail.
Orange County deputies cracking down on people who hog the left lane. Deputies say they handed out fines for those slowing the flow of traffic in the left lane. Under Florida law, drivers must now move out of the left lane when they are not actively passing another vehicle on the highway. Drivers who face a $164 fine.
A water main break causing service disruptions for some folks in Sumter County tonight. The city of Wildwood says the 12-inch break in the line is just south of the intersection of US 301 and State Road 44. They're telling us that a significant number of utility customers in and around the downtown area specifically are affected tonight. The city's utility team says the main is isolated and being repaired. We'll also follow up on this to let you know if there's a boil water advisory. But for right now, if nothing comes out of your faucet in that area, you know why. Well, the emergency door blown off mid-flight on an Alaskan Airlines plane has sparked a battle in courts.
Coming up, what's inside the new lawsuit filed by the two pilots who were flying that plane?
Beautiful weather here, but we go from unseasonably warm weather to a return of winter. I'm updating what's causing this back and forth temperature swing.
All right, Tom, and a woman said she was close to actually firing her gun when these two armed men came up to her apartment front door. Up next, Action 9 explains why some renters of apartments can't break their lease even if the area is dangerous and filled with crime.
It's Holland America Cruise Week here on Wheel.
Enter the bonus puzzle at wheeloffortune.com for your chance to win at home.
We'll see you this week for more exciting adventures with Holland America.
Brought to you by Community Legal Services.
Watch Eyewitness News from any device with Eyewitness News live stream. Sponsored by Bogan Munz & Munz. No gimmicks, just results.
We are continuing to follow that breaking news out of Minneapolis as protest in Minnesota happened after that deadly shooting. That is the scene on the right-hand side of your screen. ICE agent shot a woman now identified as a 37-year-old Renee Good, who was not a target of ICE but was there for the protest. And then as you look to the left on your screen, crowd now gathering in downtown Orlando for a protest that was hastily called using social media as a way to get the message out. And that is a live look at City Hall. We have crews there now talking to people as to why they showed up and what their feelings are, as well as law enforcement experts. And we asked them if today's shooting, in their opinion, based on law enforcement, was justified. It's all coming up on Eyewitness News at 6, but a small gathering, again, hastily called in Orlando, but in Minneapolis, we see that makeshift memorial for that victim.
A renter fed up with crime says she caught this on camera, men with a gun outside her door trying to get in.
Action 9 attorney Jason Stujenki has more on your rights if you don't feel safe where you are a renter.
And more on this story. Here are some of your rights as a renter in our state, Florida. Landlords must provide a safe, structurally sound property with working plumbing and include pest control. There must be reasonable security, including locks on the doors and windows. Working smoke detectors must be installed in single-family homes and duplexes. Lastly, landlords must keep shared spaces clean and safe. Well, if you have a tip for our Action 9 team, head on over to WFTV.com or check out the WFTV Action 9 page on Facebook.
And now to a new legal battle stemming from an incredibly frightening moment in midair. Back in January of 2024, a section of an Alaska Airlines Boeing 737 was blown off in mid-flight. The two pilots operating the plane are now suing Boeing, claiming the company initially tried to blame them.
The first indication was it was an explosion in my ears, and then a whoosh of air. My body was forced forward, and there was a loud bang.
After a lengthy investigation, officials found the plane had left the factory missing critical bolts to secure a panel that sealed off an old emergency exit. The FAA fined Boeing $3 million. The company has not commented on this new lawsuit.
Soon, the nation's first system capable of producing, storing, and combusting 100% green hydrogen will come to Florida. The city of DeBary will be home to the unique system run by Duke Energy. Green hydrogen is produced through a process powered by the company's solar energy site. It is then stored in reinforced containers until it's needed. Duke says it could help lower prices, but did not give any specifics.
We may not be known as much for our sunset as our sunrise here on the eastern coast of Florida, but we still get our shows.
Oh, it's been very nice, and the weather exceptionally warm, and it's going to get even warmer. And then I got winter trying to make a comeback. So
some for everyone.
'Tis the season of change. Florida. Here's a live view from our Cocoa Beach camera looking back west, not toward the east, but over the Indian and Banana Rivers and back to the west toward our set sun that is now below the horizon. 79 degrees, very warm today, and we're going to be even warmer the next couple of afternoons. We're also going to have another visit from the fog machine, which is going to kick on along the Gulf Coast and spread inland toward I-75. So late night plans, and especially if you have areas that have like some smoldering fires, prescribed burns or not, that can lead to that thicker kind of a super fog that we have here occasionally. You can see through 9 o'clock in the morning, mainly northwest of Orange County, it's going to be a little bit foggy, but the upper air pattern holds the keys
to the cold fronts. Our jet stream is way up here to the north. I've highlighted the colder colors here. This is the colder upper atmosphere. There's a little bit of a dip right here, so we'll get some storms across the midsection of the country. For us, unseasonably warm, so even warmer. We're looking about 83, maybe 84 by Saturday, Friday and Saturday, in fact. Then we get this big kind of a bowling ball of cold air that's going to blow right through the Great Lakes here over the weekend and start to push the warmer air out of the way. So we're going to get a little bit cooler starting late Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday. Then we get another shot of cold air all the way down to the deep south. And this type of setup kind of puts us on the edge of some of the colder air to the north and the warmer air down south. This can also lead to some rain. So we're going to be looking at some perhaps wetter changes for about a week from today. In the meantime, tomorrow we've got another big warm up with patchy fog early, right around 80 to 82 degrees and getting even warmer for the next day or so. Sanford all the way up to 83. Then we drop it down into the 60s, and then we could get an even cooler overall pattern for us by the end of next week if some of that extra cold air rotates on through. Here's Melbourne and Palm Bay. You're going to be even warmer in the 80s on Sunday before we all take that 10, 15 degree temperature haircut next week. 7-day forecast. The weekend always in view. 1, 2, 3 days of temperatures at least 10 degrees warmer than average, including during the early morning hours. And that's one of the reasons why we've had the issues with fog. There's so much moisture in the air. Slight chance for rain Sunday. That's going to be in the evening as our front passes, but not too much. We cool down some next week, and then moisture should be returning Wednesday and Thursday next week. The European forecast model and the GFS from the American side all showing a chance for some rain. And I'll see you at 6.
9 Investigates went to a meeting to get answers about a community development district that spent $900,000 of the community's money in 20 days with no receipts.
They don't want to face the people.
Why the meeting was abruptly canceled with no notice, and the tough questions we're asking anyway. Plus, new information about a woman who disappeared in Orange County 4 years ago. The huge step taken today that's now giving her family hope. Plus, a woman shot and killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis. All new at 6. A law enforcement expert analyzes the shooting that was caught on camera.
Channel 9 Eyewitness News with continuing coverage of the Venezuelan tensions.
Growing questions on Venezuela's path forward since the U.S. captured leader Nicolas Maduro.
From the trial of Maduro.
President Nicolas Maduro was defiant today as he and his wife appeared in federal court.
To the reactions from Venezuelans in Central Florida.
The Venezuelan community right here in Central Florida took to the streets.
As a Venezuelan American, I can't tell you how happy I am.
Stay with Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
This primetime lineup is brought to you by Lexus of Winter Park.
Here's today's local steals and deals. We have new information in the case of a woman who disappeared in Orange County without a trace 4 years ago.
Yeah, coming up tonight, all new at 6. The big steps taken today that are giving her family hope they may finally get some answers here.
And 9 Investigates is following the money and asking for receipts. The audit happening right now in Osceola County after $900,000 tax dollars were spent in just 20 days.
A small but growing protest here outside Orlando City Hall as people react to the shooting in Minneapolis. Coming up, a law enforcement ex-deputy analyzes video that we showed him.